Sun star discloses Sophie Cunningham reality amid Dweeb Caitlin Clark admission. When Sophie Cunningham arrived in Indiana, few expected her to become such a vital piece of the team's identity. That changed on June 17 in a heated clash with the Connecticut Sun. Cunningham's physical defense against J.C. Sheldon got so intense that security intervened before the officials even stepped in. Moments later, Sheldon aimed at Caitlin Clark, escalating tensions further. The episode cemented Cunningham's reputation as a protector of her teammates, as former teammate Bria Hartley now broke the silence. On the Good Follow podcast with Rose Goldonwood, Connecticut Sun player Bria Hartley spoke about Sophie Cunningham's mentality and how their relationship is after the Sophie Cunningham-J.C. Sheldon incident. "I think at that point, Sophie may have gotten fed up in that moment and she was going to hard foul someone. So then I think everyone liked J.C. I was proud of J.C. like she didn't back down or anything like that. And the LA Lindsay Allen came over to help her out. I was on the bench at the time. I was like, dang," Bria Hartley said, talking about the incident. "When you've played 2 years in the league together, you know each other so much that you can predict how someone is going to react. That is exactly how Bria Hartley and Sophie Cunningham's relationship is." Talking more about their relationship, Bria Hartley said, "We're competitors at the end of the day, like all of us out there. Like I said, Sophie, we were teammates and we have a really good relationship. So when we're out there, spur of the moment stuff is going to happen sometimes. If there was anyone who could have a reason to have a strained relationship with Sophie Cunningham, it was Bria Hartley. But with the way Sophie Cunningham has always stood up for her teammates, one minor heat-of-the-moment incident was never going to strain that. Even if that meant Sophie had to take an injury blow. Sophie Cunningham's season came to a heartbreaking end after she suffered a knee injury against the Connecticut Sun. She tore her MCL following a collision with Bria Hartley under the basket, a moment that forced her to be helped off the court by team staff. The injury not only sidelined her for the remainder of the season, but also marked a difficult blow for an Indiana Fever squad that had grown to rely on her toughness and presence. Yet Cunningham made it clear the bond with Hartley remained strong despite the unfortunate play. Speaking on the Show Me Something podcast, she emphasized there was no bad blood. "I know Bria, and I'm actually really good friends with Bria. I think it was a basketball play. I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. She'd never try to hurt me. I've got nothing but love for Bria." Even her mother's reaction on social media, Cunningham explained, couldn't change the fact that the two shared deep respect and friendship. So it isn't one-sided acknowledgement from Bria, but from Cunningham too. Sophie Cunningham is one of the most loved players in the locker room, but some have even accused Sophie of defending CC just because of fame and popularity. But if anyone has seen them both the entire season, it is clear that personal gain is the least of concerns between the two. A deep dive into Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark's bond. Ever since Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham became teammates, their relationship has not been one of teammates but rather of sisters. It's not just limited to on-court chemistry, but involves a lot of online teasing as well. Although their bond came into focus after the incident with J.C. Sheldon, it was pretty close even before then. Since the J.C. Sheldon instance, Sophie Cunningham has repeatedly defended Caitlin Clark. From calling out people who don't consider CC a face of the league in her debut podcast, to even risking the wrath of famous sports commentator Skip Bayless, Sophie has shown that when it comes to defending her teammates, she does not care about who's on the other side. But their bond is not just about Sophie defending Caitlin. Like sisters, they have their moments on social media as well. In fact, it was revealed a few months ago that Sophie Cunningham calls Caitlin Clark a dweeb. From leaving hilarious comments on each other's pictures to playfully embarrassing each other publicly, they've done it all. Recently, as the Indiana Fever players were arriving at the Las Vegas Aces arena before Game 2, Caitlin Clark pulled off another prank on Sophie Cunningham. As all the players came to the arena dressed sharply, Sophie Cunningham was trying to sneak in and avoid the photographers. But as soon as CC saw her, she pulled her and made her do the tunnel walk.